gang. Hey, nothing but love and respect. You might have some cool fans, but mine are the best. We've been through it all, went to war when duty called. Never left a man behind, we move as one is super strong. I don't want followers, that implies I'm the leader. I'm not the captain, I just gave them something they can believe in. I hold the lamp in the darkness, but they're the light that I needed to see the road that we walk in between the angels and demons. And my fans have my back. Hate us if your feelings don't like facts. And my fans will fight back. Beat you with the keyboard you've been using to write back. I guess we need each other like both sides of the battery. We the army, we the homies, we the gang, we the cavalry. We're brothers and sisters, we hold it down like we gravity. Can't nobody break the bond that made us all family.
Me and my fans, we don't care what anybody say. Middle fingers to whoever in the way, man. Me and my fans, we gon' be together to the grave. It's a gang till forever and a day, man. Me and my fans, we don't even trip in the hate. We the I don't give a fuck in our veins, man. Me and my fans,
We the hangover gang. Gang, 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 gang.
Oklahoma weather can dish out some of the worst punishment in the world. Hi everyone, I'm meteorologist Tuttle. But now you can fight back by installing Class 4 impact-resistant shingles from Ferguson Roof Systems. These shingles can withstand large hail, heavy rain, and hurricane-force winds, all while keeping your home safe and dry. And the best part? This upgrade is completely free for many homeowners. So call today to start reaping the benefits these Class 4 shingles bring, including a discount on home insurance. Only at FergusonRoofSystems.com.
Hey there, meteorologist Tuttle, back with you again. It is a Monday night, about 9:40 here, as we head on into our upcoming work week. Did a blog yesterday. Some of you probably read that, and you're like, what is this, man? So, but just to clarify, I want to let you know I am not a deep state operative. So, every now and then I bust out my I am not deep state comedy shirt. It's a local comedy show. And I thought it was funny. The guy was trying to make a buck. I said, I'll give you a few. So anyway, all right, let's tell you what, let's get on with the programs. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for liking, sharing this content, this video, telling your friends and family about AT's weather. Know they have an alternate to get their good information when it comes to weather without having to sit through a 30-minute depressing newscast. Because I don't do that. I don't want you to have to do that either. I want all smiles for you. I want you to feel good when you go to bed. All right, so I'll tell you what, out there right now, it's a little bit of moonlight. You know, it's not bad. Temperatures were not nice today. Out there currently, we're talking just above freezing. I'm 32.2 degrees at my Tempest weather station. You can pick up one of those as well anytime. During this broadcast or any other time, you can scan that QR code and get you a discount on one if you'd like. Several of you have picked up one, and I'm hearing all good things, so that's great. I like mine, so hopefully you're liking yours. All right, let's see. Let's get on with the program, shall we? Had just about everybody chimed in, it looks like, so now we're getting on to business. First thing we'll talk about is the rainfall that we had over the weekend. Some pretty good amounts. We did see up around close to about an inch here in parts of northeast Oklahoma in the green shading, and in the southeast eastern Oklahoma. Of course, not much happening out west where we need it. This is where the drought is the strongest. So it won't be this system that's going to provide us some much needed rainfall. So we'll see what the next one does. Temperatures, the minimum this morning, we were into the 20s and teens across western Oklahoma. Very cold in the panhandle. We're in the 30s out across eastern Oklahoma. And this afternoon, as we talked about, a little cooler. So today we were in the 30s and 40s, so that nice stretch of warm weather we had has all come to an end. On top of that, what else is coming to an end would be the lack of winter weather, because it looks like another round is coming. So the National Weather Service has kind of highlighted that as well. It has the highlights here on the map. It shows the winter weather timing coming in for Thursday evening through Friday. Of a winter storm system, and they break down some of the uncertainty. We're going to talk about that also, so that way you know what is coming our way in a bit more detail. All right, let me jump into this right here. So this is the ensemble forecast, what the atmosphere is capable of producing at any given time. We've got it freeze-framed here on Friday morning. Where you see blue, that means the atmosphere is cold enough for all snow. Where you see this little orange and red, that's what the atmosphere is, because you know what? There's some warm pockets, warm layers, just a few thousand feet off the ground. That's going to provide a little bit of a sleet or indoor freezing rain and freezing drizzle scenario. As you can see, that's across the I-44 corridor and then south and eastern Oklahoma. And then as we go through time on Friday, this colder blue will transition over the rest of the state. So luckily for us, as it looks right now, while the precipitation happens, this is again on Monday night, but right now for Thursday night and a Friday morning, it looks to be fairly light, so that it should not be a big problem when it comes to power outages, anything like that. We do look at the precipitation ticking up here to a few hundredths, so anywhere from 2 to maybe 4 here in Oklahoma City, by the way, by the time we head into Friday morning. And this, unfortunately, will be in that little category we talk about, which is here on the screen in the red, and then there's the pink, which is freezing rain and some sleet. So again, a little bit of a wintry mix at first, probably a little bit of freezing drizzle thrown in there to boot before the snow moves in on top of that. And that'll be the case elsewhere. We'll take a look here at the forecast, or the, you know what, I'll do this one. This is fine. The jet stream pattern. We do have a little system coming in tomorrow, by the way. Now, it's going to be moisture starved. So you'll see some passing clouds. And at worst case, you might see a flake of snow flying out. But that's about it. Nothing exciting about that one. This next round right here is the one that's going to come in for Friday, for a Thursday night and a Friday. That's the big energy maker there, which will produce precipitation here across Oklahoma and even down to North Texas. Now, we break this down into the mid-levels of the atmosphere. We get squeezing out the precipitation timing. Remember, the more colors indicate the more lift in the atmosphere. So we head into the lunchtime hour tomorrow. Into the afternoon, you do see a little bit of light lift here across Oklahoma, but heavier lift out to our east and southeast. What that means is that's the timing of precipitation. Again, here I think we're pretty much dry. I'll show you what that looks like. Matter of fact, I'll show you what that looks like right now before I even go on further. So this is a look. If you take that map on a 2D flat, we're going to zip it up vertical. So we're going to take it from the bottom to the top. Sounds like I'm doing a rap song. But if you look here at the bottom, which is where we live, we're looking for green, for moisture. We ain't got much. Here in the mid-levels is a teeny tiny bit, some up here in the upper levels. So what we're dealing with is a lot of dry air. We do have some lift in this dry air, though, over the snow growth layer, which is the pink bounded shading here in the middle. So again, they'll probably produce a few snowflakes, and they may make its way all the way down the surface. Not, very likely, but just in case. That's Tuesday midday. And then a little sneak peek here for Thursday morning throughout the day into Thursday night, Friday morning. See this little batch of green and some purple? That's good saturated air mass along with that next Arctic push. And we'll get to show you what that means here in just a second. But little sneak peek of that one. Otherwise, this little system moves on by. The timing for the next one comes in as we head into Wednesday. So here's Wednesday night up here in northwest Oklahoma and into Kansas. So a little earlier show for those folks. And here's Thursday. Some light activity here. But remember, pretty moisture starved here initially, but we're going to have that low-level moisture trapped in with the front. So in other words, it won't be generated from top up. It'll be generated down at the lower levels. And usually what that is, you can squeeze out some snowflakes from the cold, bitter cold air. You can also sometimes squeeze out freezing drizzle in that situation, but very, very light here for Thursday. But you can see that is across the state, so that is lift trapped in that frontal zone. And so we may have to deal with some touch and go on bridges, overpasses. We'll get to that here in a second. But as we go on into the rest of this period, into Friday morning, you can see a lot more widespread action here across Oklahoma and Texas as more lift moves in, as that next bigger round of precipitation, a little heavier round, does start to move through. So that's kind of the timing how this stuff breaks out. When we take a look at the 850 millibar level, it's a pretty good approximation of where the warm layer is going to be. As we head into time, we'll get this first cold wave out of here. We're going to warm things up, and then here comes that next cold wave coming right in behind it. And we'll stop it at Thursday. Let's go to, there's Thursday midday. So what we have here, this is the freezing line, this little blue line right about here. So anything north of this line is typically snow in this environment. South of the line is where you get the winter mix, ice and some sleet. So it's kind of a similar setup what we saw a couple weeks ago, where we did have that dividing line across the I-44 corridor. Here's is on Thursday night. You see it doesn't really move much. And then here's on to Friday morning, still kind of near Tulsa, south end of Tulsa to say Norman. Points north and west by Friday morning is now cold enough for all snow, whereas southeast Oklahoma still has that winter mix, a little bit of ice. So that's why we're kind of on that border of a little mixed bag of everything here if you live along the I-44 corridor. Now tomorrow, remember we mentioned a little bit of snowflake activity. If you look out west, the models do indicate that could be a little bit coming through the panhandle there in northwest Oklahoma. It doesn't produce anything for central, but like I said, don't be surprised if you do see a rare snowflake coming on down. All right, so let's go look at the next system right behind this one. Okay, so the front comes in. Here is the precipitation that breaks out. So this will be the main show, not the Thursday teaser. This is the main show. So here's Friday. Let's see, there's midnight. So here's 3 o'clock in the morning, and then we head into 6 a.m. So the precipitation is already, the first round has already moved through Oklahoma City and Tulsa. That would be the mixed bag of a little bit of freezing drizzle, sleet, kind of a deal, light freezing rain. That moves into southeast Oklahoma. Then we get snow. That will develop north and west of that, back behind it through 9 o'clock in the morning up through noon. Now, that's not a big signal. So this is, when it comes to winter storms, this is a pretty puny one, I will say. There's no huge signal right now that screams Armageddon, which is fine, because I don't know about you, but I'm so sick of Armageddon. Every time I turn on my Twitter feed or the news, it's Armageddon. So I don't need a winter storm Armageddon to go with it. So this is just going to be kind of more of a nuisance storm. We do look at the freezing rain and sleet combination, and still kind of highlighting the boundary, again, is I-44, about like so where you can see the northern fringe of that stuff. Can't rule out, something just kind of in this region, but we're talking Monday night right now, and we're still a few days away to fine-tune this. But by far and large, the bulk of that stuff, as we saw on the 850 map, is back down in the same area as it's been this entire season. Okay, snow amounts. Well, if we blend all the models together, it's not a huge system yet, but it does have pockets of snow. It's going to be up around 2, maybe 3 inches embedded within this little band here to the east, maybe even up to the north. So this map will change over time. Remember, we're really early on snowfall forecasting. Honestly, until you get about 24 hours out, the models stink. So just to let you know, that would be Wednesday to Thursday before we actually get a pretty decent idea of how much snow. But right now, at least the signal is on the lighter to moderate side. If you do look at the ensembles from the European model, however, just for Oklahoma City itself, some get out of control. There's a 6-inch, 5-inch, 4-inch, 4-inch, 3, 5, 3, 2. But a lot of them will have just an inch or dusting. And there's some that didn't produce any snow at all. These little bands here, that's a model run that said, nope, no snow. Here's one that said no snow. So if you get these little gaps in here, that means bone dry, right, when it comes to snow. So it's not unanimous, and the European usually goes unanimous when it gets really excited, but it averages out to about an inch here in Oklahoma City as far as the totals go at this point in time, which is basically what it had yesterday. So far that trend is continuing. Okay, well, we know it's going to be cold, all right? So we're going to have a big, nasty chill coming, so we'll just start you on Thursday because that's when the big change happens. So here's Thursday morning. So we're already into the 20s and teens in northwest Oklahoma as that colder air filters in, 30s elsewhere. During the day, we're going to rebound and moderate a bit, especially down south and southeast Oklahoma. North and west, though, we're going to be in the 20s for the daytime temperatures for the afternoon. So it's still quite cold here for Oklahoma City, as you can see, Thursday midday into the afternoon hours, and those 20s expand south and east. And then it gets much colder overnight Thursday night into Friday morning. We're now down at 25 degrees. We'll probably be in the 20s most of Friday. Also, as we head into Thursday afternoon, the winds will kick up. Season wind gusts up around 20 to 30 miles per hour. And as you can imagine, when that happens, we get wind chill values that dip down pretty cold. So here's Thursday afternoon wind chill values, teens and 20s behind that colder air. Let's see, let's go right there. And then as we head into Friday morning, wind chill values drop off into the single digits and some teens, and kind of stays that way for the first half of Friday. Let's see if the icon models come in yet on the snow. Just want to see what it did. And, ooh, I like it. So it brings a bit better snow, more significant snow at that. Here across central Oklahoma, so Canadian County, Oklahoma County, with about 3 inches to maybe 4, even parts of 4 up here north. So this will be the first sign that I've seen of more decent snow showing up in the model data. Now, what the bigger take-home is with this system, even though we're getting a little touch of everything here across the state, the bulk of the winter storm as far as snow goes is going to be up to our north into Kansas. Well, they will see widespread 3 to 6 inches, no problem. That's not even in question. Whether or not they get a little bit higher than that, we'll see. But at least that's a good start. All right, around Oklahoma City, and really check my weather app, AT's Weather to Go, for your specific backyard forecast for your 7-day outlook. But we do have a little bit of a trend of some warmer temperatures for the afternoon as we head into Wednesday. And then, like we talked about, the bottom drops out about midday for Thursday. So this 53 is like a midnight temperature. And then we're gross on Thursday. And honestly, we're gross on Friday. I don't think we'll hit 39. We will probably hit 32 in the afternoon. And then Saturday could be a pretty good swing in temperatures. We may say upper 40s, but pretty close to this. And then at least we got some much warmer weather on the horizon after that, which looks pretty good. So that is how things ought to look right now in your forecast. And I will show you one more thing here. Remember I showed you the vertical profile of the atmosphere? We talked about that period. Right now, the European is the model to beat, and it's kind of been alone, all right, which is typical in the wintertime. But the American model is trying to catch up to it. So let's see what the American model does, because I can't plot this like I can with this program with the European data. It's more of an ancient, archaic way to look at weather data, believe it or not. So no one ever puts any development into this anymore. It's like a dead dinosaur, but I love it because it's got so great detailed info. But anyway, so Thursday into Friday morning, see a lot of low-level moisture we talked about. So there it is down here, but nothing mid-level. Okay, so during the day on Thursday, this is why this not anything heavy, more of a nuisance-like coating on maybe bridges and overpasses. Just be careful if that ends up becoming a problem. Otherwise, Friday morning, here's that big moisture trapped in the mid-levels, overriding with the snow growth zone, which is this little pink bounded area here. So this is where we're generating all the snow with all the moisture overlaid into it. And the little red lines are omega, or lift in the atmosphere, that are squeezing it all out. We do have, looks like clear that out, some dry air to overcome, even though we're going to be making a lot of it in this region. When it falls, it's got to fall through this drier layer, and it does saturate it right about this point Friday morning. So that's our best period for a brief burst of moderate snow here in Oklahoma City. It would probably be after about 6 a.m. on Friday for a few hours as it moves by. And then you can see Friday afternoon, which is this. There's noon right here. Remember, time goes to the left on this graphic. So from noon onward here in central Oklahoma, it's show's over. So it's a very short window for anything heavy or decent. So bottom line is Friday morning, unfortunately, I know you don't want to hear this, but it comes in just in time for rush hour, you know. So I know there's a lot of people are going to be like, ugh, you know, they're still working, have to deal with that. You know, whether or not you close a business, that's obviously it's Monday night. I wouldn't even make that decision now. But just know maybe how about delays, you know, people to give them some time to get in because it's going to be messy at this point in time. Remember, it only takes a couple hundredths of an inch of precipitation to cause a skating rink. And if it is something like that, a light glazing of ice, you can't really drive much on it anyway. So we'll just have to see on the precipitation type. If we get a little bit more sleet, maybe it's a little bit more helpful. If it's just a thin coating of just freezing drizzle, very light freezing rain, well, that's a problem. If it's a quick transition so fast you get hardly any of either of those and it's just snow, hey, perfect. You can drive in snow. It's not a big deal. But that's what we have to work with. I'd like to get more specific than that, but I've given you everything you can possibly be specific on this from this far out. You can't do anything more than what I've given you. But it's enough, right, to be in the know. It's enough to make some early decisions and early calls, make some rearrangements maybe if you want to. Remember, this extends not only here in central Oklahoma, but elsewhere over the state too. So if you're traveling, keep that in mind. It'll be slow go. Okay, I think I touched on everything I wanted to do. Let's see here. By the way, you guys on YouTube, I see you checking in, so I appreciate you leaving all your comments. I see Jody's got you under control. I like to see a lot of the regulars on there. Michael wants more snow and ice and sleet on Facebook. Mike, why do they call life Omega? Because it follows the alpha. That was a little church joke for you. Okay, any more winter precip for Central Texas? Janet wants to know. Well, probably not this round. Although North Texas, probably a little taste of this one. I haven't looked beyond that because the system kind of pulls away as the cold air comes in. So right now, I'm not looking at Dallas to getting anything at this point. It's right on the northern, or I should say southern fringe. So we'll look tomorrow and see if anything's changed in that regard. Thank you for the stars, by the way, on Facebook. Christopher and Sarah and Ron. Bitter cold, yeah, I'm telling you. Michael, I see you as well. Thank you. Lori, I know, right? You know what? If we can't drive in the winter storms, it's fine. Just save on the gas. We all save money on Friday. I knew we'd have a request for little Larry. It always happens. How do we know you're not deep state, Matt? You don't. Everything's a psyop, buddy. Everything's a psyop. And I may not even be real. I might be a deep fake. Have you ever seen some of those deep fakes? Crazy. Crazy what you can make now on video. And you can't tell if it's fake or real. It all looks real, including just videos. Just you can make videos of anything. I saw one of a toddler walking along a fence line, and when I first saw it, I thought, oh my gosh, he's going to fall over that cliff, right? And then, of course, they showed you how it was a green screen. Whole thing was totally fake, and it was done by a computer like mine, sitting at home, goofing around. I just like, oh man, we're in trouble. Seriously, if that's where we already are, we're so screwed. Your brain won't be able to handle what's coming next, that's for sure. We're going to live in a virtual reality of where you can't tell what's real and what's fake. Oh boy. Check me out. I want to get on those rockets out of here to Mars. You guys can have it. I'm out. Peace. Okay, so anyway, that's it for me. Thanks for tuning in tonight. We're going to talk more about this, obviously, on and off. Probably a couple of lunchtime lives, which usually happen around 11:45, something like that. They're really short, they're about 10-15 minutes long. I just kind of cram it down your throat, and then I'm out. So it's a lot shorter than this. This I have more time to elaborate, not so rushed. And we'll do that again at 9:30 tomorrow night. And also, yeah, I think what day it was. Wednesday night. And then we'll see how it goes. All right. So you guys be good. Thanks again for watching, and we'll talk soon. Sleep well. Take care.